Welcome to Heart Speaks. This is a space where stories are not rushed, where ideas are allowed to unfold naturally, and where culture is explored not through noise, but through meaning. Today, we are not here to retell a famous story. We are here to understand why it stayed with us. When Harry Potter first appeared in the late 1990s, it looked like a children's fantasy, simple and imaginative. But quietly, almost invisibly, it became something much larger. This is not about spells or plot twists. This is about grief, choice, fear, love, and why millions of people around the world recognize themselves in a boy who lived under the stairs. This is Heart Speaks, and this is a reflection on the Harry Potter phenomenon. Harry Potter was not born in comfort. It was born in uncertainty, silence, and personal loss. The idea first appeared in 1990 during a delayed train journey in England. But the emotional foundation of the series was shaped by something far deeper. During the early writing of the first book, the author lost her mother. From that moment on, loss became the quiet center of the story. Harry is not defined by his magic. He is defined by absence, by parents he never knew, by love that exists only in memory. That is why the world of Harry Potter feels real. It was not written to escape pain, but to survive it. In Harry Potter, magic is rarely just magic. It becomes a language for emotional experience. Dementors are not simply dark creatures. They represent depression, the feeling that joy will never return. The Patronus charm is not a trick or a spectacle. It is resilience, the conscious decision to hold on to light when darkness feels permanent. Fear itself becomes visible in this world. The boggart does not attack you. It reveals you. At a time when children's literature often avoided emotional depth, Harry Potter acknowledged pain without simplifying it or dismissing it. It told young readers that fear, sadness, and anger were not signs of weakness, but parts of being human. Harry Potter is often described as fantasy, yet structurally it behaves like a mystery. Each year brings a question, each book invites investigation, and each ending reveals that the truth was never where we expected it to be. Readers are not passive. They think, they guess, they participate. Beneath the magic lies something familiar and deeply human: the school story. Exams, authority, unfair rules, favoritism, and rebellion. Hogwarts feels recognizable even to those who never wore a uniform. The structure of school life grounds the fantasy in reality, making the extraordinary feel personal and close. One of the most important ideas in Harry Potter is not destiny, it is choice. Harry and Voldemort begin with similar circumstances. Both are orphans. Both are outsiders. What separates them is not power, talent, or fate. It is decision. The story insists that identity is built through repeated moral choices, not prophecy. This idea resonated deeply with a generation growing up in a world filled with uncertainty, pressure, and change. It quietly reminded readers that who they become is not written for them in advance. Beneath the fantasy lies a deeply political story, a society obsessed with purity, with bloodlines and labels. Language is used to exclude. Fear is turned into policy. The villains are not chaotic monsters acting without reason. They are bureaucrats, propagandists, and people convinced they are right. The heroes are imperfect, emotional, and often angry. They make mistakes. They doubt themselves. And still, they choose to resist. The story never pretends that standing up to injustice is easy. It shows that it is uncomfortable, costly, and necessary. Harry Potter also changed how people read. It proved that children could handle long books, complex emotions, and moral ambiguity. It proved that adults could return to wonder without embarrassment. Reading became social again. Midnight releases, shared theories, waiting together. A global community formed around a story before social media made that normal. For many families, These books became something shared across generations, a common language spoken at kitchen tables and bedtime. No cultural phenomenon remains untouched by time. Today, the Harry Potter universe exists alongside difficult conversations and uncomfortable debates. For many readers, the books became a refuge, a story about empathy, resistance, and the power of love. The modern discussion raises a difficult question. Can a story outgrow its author? There is no simple answer, but perhaps the endurance of Harry Potter lies in its ability to hold complexity without collapsing. It allows people to question, reinterpret, and continue the conversation. Harry Potter is not perfect, but it is honest. It never promised a painless world. It promised that love would matter, even when it hurts. And maybe that is why, years later, we still return to it. Not to escape reality, but to understand ourselves a little better. You have been listening to Heart Speaks. If this reflection resonated with you, stay with us, because every story worth telling begins where the heart speaks.